Hello, everyone. Welcome to, I'd like to say a midday motivation, but it's kind of towards the end of the day. So, wanted to get it in today because I had a really fun topic that I wanted to talk about and share some insights on how you can improve your content creation, your personal branding, and your client experience through my experience as a DJ picking out songs for my sets. So, as I have been launching into more music based content, but also adding in DJing to my services that I have for my clients, for conferences, for events, for festivals, and also club nights. I'm really going headfirst into the music thing in 2024. And so as I'm working on this new demo, because I DJed for 25 years, got to work with such groups as, our artists as Kelly Rowland and Avicii, the late great Avicii, Stonebridge, Betty Who, Gloria Gaynor, lots of really phenomenal names. DJing was a passion of mine. And I did it for 25 years, walked away, took a hiatus, and now I'm back after a 7-year hiatus. And it's so exciting to me. And so as I'm working on a new demo mix for some clients that I'm working with and some potential opportunities, it struck me as I'm looking through my library of music, which I have way too much music. I need to purge a lot of it. As I look at my thing, I have close to 47,000 songs in my iTunes. It could be considered hoarder-ish, but I've compiled these songs over the years based on my history as a DJ and frankly, just being a music lover. But as I'm going through these songs and trying to pick out this new set to think about like what I want to do and what message I want to convey and what vibe I want to create with this, it got me thinking about content creation. And so a couple of different things that popped out to me as I'm looking through this music and how it ties to content creation, I wanted to share with you all today. So number one, personal branding has a lot to do with how you appear to your audience, how you come out to your audience, what you're sharing, what you're talking about. And where I compare it to is that as I'm looking at the songs that I have, a lot of them I've either heard from other DJs that they've played it. And I have a lot of different styles and a lot of different vibes and a lot of different feelings. And so, but when it comes down to it, it's like content. We ingest content all the time. So you're influenced by the content you ingest. You're influenced by the things you read, that you watch, that you listen to on podcasts. And so it's a collection of all these things. But what it comes down to is, what is your sound? What is your vibe? What is your message? What is the brand that you bring to the marketplace that sets you apart? There are thousands and thousands of DJs. There are thousands and thousands of marketers and speakers and content creators. So what's different about you? Or what is it about your personal brand that is easy to describe to somebody else? So when I think about my DJing style, I love a really good beat, but I love songs that have a familiar hook, whether it's a sample or lyrics or it's a remix. And I love that style. Like, it's fun to me because I want people dancing, having a good time, but also it's fun to watch people light up when they hear something that's familiar and all of a sudden they're singing while they're dancing, or they're, carrying on, or there's something about that song that brings back a thought, or it's something familiar to them that they feel like they can get even more engaged in past the beat. And so that's always been my style. I've experimented with different styles, but it all comes back to me wanting to convey this feeling and this sensation and this vibe and this sound of fun. And so what is yours as a content creator or a speaker or a leader? What is your brand? If your leadership style was a DJ set, like, what emotions do you want to create? What vibe do you want to create? What do you want people to walk away thinking after they get done listening to you? That is the same thing, because we take all these things in, all these songs that I have creates my knowledge of music. And so especially when I'm reading a crowd or working a crowd at a show, I can quickly make a pivot based on the energy that I'm picking up on. So all of this information is here for you to use. And all the information you use as a content creator or a leader or a manager or a marketer or a speaker, whatever it is, use that to your advantage to create the vibe and create the brand that you want to create and own it. I don't apologize for the brand that I have because I'm confident and I know that I enjoy conveying that brand. So that's fun. That's fun for me. And so don't ever worry about creating a brand that you're not 100% bought into, or that is not going to be fun for you to carry out in the marketplace. Be yourself, own it. You're going to attract the right people to who you are. So first and foremost, think of it that way. Second of all, a few of my content creator friends, Steffi Marone and I talked about this a long time ago too. And I see content creators and thought leaders talking about this, is the concept of evergreen content. And so I think about the same thing with music. When I'm DJing, like, yeah, it's fun to go hear that new track. And, I'm going to try producing this year. It's something that I've put off for a long time. That's another topic for another show. But I'm going to actually wind up writing some music this year, some dance music. And I'm really excited about it. Now, will it be immaculate, Grammy Award winning? Probably not, but it's going to be something that gets done. And when I think about like the new music that comes out all the time, and when I got back into DJing this year, I bought a whole bunch of new music and I love it and it's great, it's fun. But as I'm going through my music and trying to plan these sets out and plan out this demo, I also incorporated some songs that I played 7, 8, 10, 12 years ago that are great songs that still have staying power. I'm blessed to know a guy named Stonebridge, who is one of the most famous producers of all time in the dance music world. And I was messing around the other night, just kind of playing for myself, and played one of his tracks, and it's just timeless. Now, it came out a long time ago. It's a remix of a Neo song, and it's phenomenal. And I even sent him a message. I said, this stood the test of time. It's phenomenal even to this day. And so when we think about incorporating the old with the new, or things that are a little bit more evergreen and have staying power to them, what is your content like? How are you building your content? Or how are you going back and leveraging the content that you've done before to make it evergreen, to share it to the marketplace? You may have created something in 2015 or 2017 that still may be relevant now, or you could build on top of that. A lot of the songs that are coming out now are truly remixes of older tracks, songs that, have been remade into a different version. So could you take something from 2017 and do a part 2 or a version 2.0? How can you leverage those things? So if you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling frustrated with your content, or you're trying to find some way to convey some new thought leadership, go back and get one of these pieces. Even if it's something that maybe you look at it like, wow, I can't believe I thought that way. Or that was so, maybe you've learned something new about leadership now, 7 years later, hopefully you have. But if you can go build on that 2017 content with your 2024 thoughts, that's great content. And it shows growth. And it also shows the fact that these topics are consistent over time. So don't be afraid of evergreen content. Don't be afraid of doing those things and bringing back some of your greatest hits and either using them as is or creating a new remix of that content. It's really important, and it's a lot of fun to do. Third, so own your brand, own your style. Don't be afraid of evergreen content. And then third, visualize the experience that you want people to have. Now, and this goes for any kind of content: live streams, podcasts, videos, articles, webinars, seminars, presentations, keynotes, whatever. If you're not visualizing what you want people to think, feel, do, say, experience, you're missing a gigantic piece of why you would do it in the first place. Because a lot of people will put out content because they feel like they have to, because they have to do it for the algorithm, God help us, or they're just trying to get something out to stay relevant. And that's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things. But as you start creating new content from this moment forward, when you're creating it, and I don't care if you go through ChatGPT and then edit something and create something, but what I want you to do is that when you put that piece of content together, or you record that video, or you record that podcast, I want you to quickly visualize somebody reading this article, somebody watching this video. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to feel? How do you want them to ingest your content, and what do you want them to do differently? And if you're not visualizing that, start today. Because I did the same thing with my music sets. I'm doing the same thing with the demo that I'm putting together. What do I want that dance floor to look like? What do I want that crowd to look like? What do I want them to do? And it's everything from me saying, okay, I want this song to come after this song. And when this happens in the song, I'm going to do this. And this is what I envision that crowd's going to do. And this is how they're going to respond. And when they hear this Dr. Dre sample come in this house music song, they're going to go crazy. So how can I interact with the crowd that way? During this song, I'm going to grab the microphone and stand up on something, because that's kind of my brand. And how can I interact with the crowd? How can I bring the level up? How can I bring the energy up? Do the same thing with your content. Do this, especially if you're doing keynotes and presentations or webinars or whatever. Please visualize the effect that you want to have on that crowd. What do you like? Look at their faces in your mind. Do you want them to smile? Do you want them to be concerned? Do you want them to look hopeful? All the above, whatever that is, spend time visualizing that. And it makes your content come off differently. There's a different emotion behind it. Because when somebody talks about something that they're passionate about, kind of like I'm doing right now, it has a different tone to it. It has a different passion and different energy to it. But if you're doing something that you're like, I got to do something today, check the box, I'll go talk about AI. Ugh. You're like, I don't want to talk about it, but here I am talking about it. and it comes off like Ferris Bueller's teacher. You don't want to sound like that. That's not the brand you want to convey. So find something within your content and find the emotional tie that you want your audience to have and double down on that. And it will transform how you convey, how you create, but also how your content is taken in the marketplace. So own your brand, evergreen content. Don't be afraid of it. Visualize the effect that you want to have on people. And I promise you, you will have a much bigger and different impact with your content moving forward and with your impact in your conversations moving forward. All of the things will be better because of this. So lessons learned from a DJ on how to be a better content creator, a better speaker. If you want more information, I'm getting it right. 2024, I'm batting 1,000. I pointed at my graphic the right way. This was a struggle last year. So hit me up, drop on richracken.com, send me an email, rich@richracken.com. It's on the website. Would love to talk to you more about content creation, but that's my DJ lesson for the day. So I hope you go continue to create your soundtrack for success, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.